Welcome back to C programming language. It is a subject introduced in CBCS pattern for the first year computer science students. So C programming language is the basic programming language which helps the students to learn all other programming languages, because all the concepts in C programming languages are the basic for learning other programming languages. So to learn the basic concepts, I have explained the basics of many C programming language concepts. In continuation to that, in today's video lesson, I would like to explain the functions concept. So it's a new word for us, but we have learnt this word when we are learning the concept of basic C programming. So the structure of C programming. When we started learning the structure of C programming, we have learnt a word called main function and subprograms or user-defined programs. So that means it's a function. So what is the meaning of function? Function is nothing but a set of statements, a set of instructions which performs a particular task. For example, if I want to perform an addition of two numbers, so it is a task to perform the addition. So for that, I need some steps to be taken up. I have to read two values and I have to add them. The result is stored in some other thing and then the result is printed on. So these are all the steps. Suppose if I have 5 steps. These 5 steps are grouped together and has given a name. So this is called function in C language. So in today's video lesson, we will learn about functions, different types of functions, and what are the things available in functions. Hope you are all enjoying this video lessons. So let's continue. So let me be here. Yeah. So in C, we can divide a large program into basic building blocks known as functions. So large program, what is the meaning of large program? If I have a complex task, so that can be divided into simpler tasks. So each task is called as function. So the basic building block in C language is a function. So everything is written in C language as function. So we are calling it as functional language. So in C language, we can divide a large program, that means a large task, into the basic building blocks. That means the basic structure. C language works with the functions known as functions. So how will be the functions? The function contains the set of programming statements. That means we need to execute some set of programming instructions so that we can achieve a task. So as I have taken the example of addition of two numbers, what I have told there, I have to do some 5 steps so that I can calculate the sum of two numbers and I can print it on. So the function contains the set of programming statements enclosed by curly braces. So that is what we have seen in main function. Main is a function which is used to write the set of instructions. That set of instructions are enclosed in curly brace. Hope you have understood. Next, a function can be called multiple times to provide reusability and modularity to the C program. What is the meaning of reusability? I will explain the simple example here. If suppose I have a task, that means I have a large program where I want to find searching of an element from the given set of elements. Searching means finding a number from given set of elements. Suppose I have given some 6 numbers. After that, I want to find an element, whether this element is available in that list or not. So that search function, that means some set of instructions I will write so that that function will perform only a searching an element in the given list. Suppose if I have a program where I have a task repeatedly to search an element from the given set of elements. So what do I do? Normally, if I don't have the functions concept, I have to write, suppose it has, the search function has some 15 lines of code. So each time, whenever I want to search an element out of the given set of elements, I have to write that 15 elements again and again. But using the function, I will be writing those 15 lines at one place and I will be calling it as function. So my task is given to that. Whenever I want to search an element from the given set of elements, that means the same task, searching. I am naming it as searching. So the searching will be done only when I will call that function. So I can call that function any number of times. So a function can be called multiple times, any number of times, which provides reusability. What is you are reusing? The code is reused here. And modularity. Modularity means making it as modules, dividing the larger task into smaller tasks. What was the larger task? Every time you need to search an element from the given set. So you have divided it into a separate module, searching an element. So it provides, that means a function can be called multiple times to provide reusability and modularity to the C program. So the advantage is you can make it as modules and you can reuse the code. That is an advantage of functions. Okay, hope you are all with me. Next, advantages of function. By using functions, that means the advantages of this concept. By using functions, we can avoid rewriting the same logic or code again and again in a program. Same thing, what I have explained, the searching of an element. Suppose if you want to search an element, that means the same task. So you are not required to write the same 15 lines of code again and again. Once you write, you can call it multiple times. So this is an advantage of functions. So by using functions, we can avoid rewriting of the same logic. That means that 15 lines of code. Logic or code again and again in a program. So that is an advantage of functions in C language. So we can call C functions any number of times in a program and from any place in a program. You can call any number of times and you can call it from any place. So this is another advantage. You can call it from any place of a program and you can call any number of times. We can track a large C program easily when it is divided into multiple functions. That means when it is divided into multiple functions, that means modules, the large task can be divided into smaller tasks. So you can track where is the problem. That means you can easily check where is the error has occurred. So the next advantage, reusability is the main achievement of C functions. The advantage is reusability. Once you write the code, that can be used any number of times. Suppose if you want to use it as 10 times, 10 into 15 lines of code, so it becomes 150 lines. But you can use it as only 15 lines and you can call it 10 times. So reusability is the main achievement of C functions. However, C function calling is always an overhead in a C program. So it is a disadvantage of C program. Okay. So there are different aspects available in functions. That means the different terms available in functions. That is declaration, function call, function definition. Three items are important. Three items are important in functions: declaration, call, definition. Remember the three terms: declaration, call, definition. So in declaration, as the name indicates, declaration means you are declaring it to the compiler that I am going to use it in my program. So this is also called prototype, function prototype. So this means it indicates to the compiler that I am going to use this into my program. So an example, what he has explained here, a function declaration means it's a first component of function. So a function declaration, a function must be declared globally in a C program. Remember, globally and locally. Globally means outside the main, which is available to all other functions. So a function must be declared globally in a C program to tell the compiler about the function name. That means which function you are going to use, function parameters, the number of parameters you are going to use, and the return type. So these are the three things you are going to write in your program. Okay. So the syntax of function declaration will be return type. It's a new word again. So it returns that what type of the function it is. Here I want to tell you one more thing. It is also a derived data type. Function also comes into derived data type. Data types are three: primary, derived, user-defined data types. Primary are the data types which are already declared in C libraries. Derived data types are the data types which are derived from already existing primary data types. So here the function comes as derived data type because it uses any one of the primary data type. So here comes the return type. So it tells what type of the function I am going to use. What are the primary data types? Either it can be int, char, float, or double. So it tells what type of the function it is. Suppose if I am writing a function called addition. So what does it mean? I can write a function addition for either two numbers which are integers. So I will write, so what it will return? 2 plus 3 returns 5. So it is again an integer. So my function returns integer. So 5, return type is the integer and this function name will be add, and arguments are nothing but on which we are going to work. So arguments are also called as parameters, as it has told here. These parameters in declaration, we will be telling the number of data types as well as type of the data types. I mean number of parameters as well as data type of those parameters. Whether both if you are using two parameters, how many two parameters, that means it indicates it's a two, and what kind of parameters are they, whether it can be integer, float, char or double. So it will indicate what type of the function it is, that means what type of value it is going to return, and what is an addition, what is the name of the function, and what type of parameters you are going to use, and the number of parameters you are going to use in your program, and it will be ended with semicolon. And it is declared globally, that means it is declared outside the function. It is indicated to the compiler. And one more thing I want to tell you here, that this is not mandatory for C language, whereas this is mandatory, that means the declaration is mandatory in C++ language. Okay, with this we'll go forward. So function call. So I have told you, you can call any number of times. You can call any number of times. A function can be called any number of times. So a function can be called from anywhere in the program. You can call it from anywhere. The parameter list must not differ in function calling and function declaration. Remember, function calling and declaration both should be matched. We must pass the same number of functions as it is declared in the function declaration. Whatever you declare in the function declaration, that means you are telling to the compiler that I am going to use these many number of parameters, and the parameters are of this type. Either I am using two integers, either I am using two floats, or I am using characters, only one character or three doubles. So the function call, the number of parameters and the type of parameters must not differ from the function declaration. So the syntax for this, it just tells the function name, that means only it calls with the function name followed by argument list. Argument list is nothing but parameters. Argument or parameters, both either can be used. This is also ended with semicolon. Depends on where we use this. Hope it is clear to you. So the next thing is function definition, which is very mandatory, and we have seen it already. In main function, we are writing the set of instructions inside the curly brace. So that is indicating what you are going to use. So the main is the function name. Before main, we have used void. Void is the return type, and main is the function name. And each function is written with open and close parenthesis. Inside that we can have the parameters also. And after that we will be having open and close parenthesis, which indicates the set of instructions and indicates what we are going to do with that function. That means what is the task that function is going to do. So that is what the function definition means. So it contains the actual statements which are to be executed. What it has to do. It is the most important aspect to which the control comes when the function is called. So it will be invoked here when you are calling. So it will be invoked here. Here we must notice that only one value can be returned from the function. The mandatory thing is, after performing the function, only one value will be returned to the called function. Somebody will be calling, to him we will be sending back. The same example, searching an element. So whenever you call a function called search, so whenever you call search, it returns only the searched item. So it returns only the searched item. So the syntax for the main function or function definition is the return type, that means type of the function, for which it is working, whether it can be integer, char, float or double, name of the function, followed by argument list, and it will not have the semicolon at the end. Same thing like, and it cannot be there also. Without the arguments also it can be there. I'll explain in the further. And the body of the function. So this function definition can be divided again into two. This part, this first part is called function header, whereas this part is called function body. The set of instructions which tells what we need to do is the function body. Hope it is clear. Three things you have to remember: function declaration, function call, function definition. Function declaration tells what type of function you are going to do. That means the return type, the name of the function, and the number of parameters and the type of the parameters are declared globally, so that it is indicating to the compiler that I am going to use this function in my program. That is the need of declaration. And coming to the call, function call, each time you can call a function and you can execute. Okay. And finally, function definition, it tells return type, function name followed by parameters, and it will contain the function body which tells what type of elements, what type of instructions, and what is the task it has to perform. So there are two types of functions available in C language. Functions are divided into two: library function, user-defined function. So library functions are the functions which are declared in the C header files. These are the functions which we have already seen, that is printf and scanf. What are the C header files? Standard input output header file. And we have seen another header file, that is conio.h, console input output header file. The work of console input output header file is to perform the task onto the monitor. So library functions are the functions which are declared. That means the definition is declared in header file. We link the header files so that we can work on it. Printf, we are writing the printf. So what the printf has to do, it is written. That means the function definition for printf is written in header file. So we are linking standard input output header file so that our printf and scanf will work with us. Okay. So the function definitions are declared in C header files such as scanf, printf. Getters, putters is also coming from standard input output. Ceil and floor are coming from math.h. In next video lesson, we'll see the C library functions, in depth of C library functions. There I will explain all other library functions. Okay. So the other function is called user-defined function. As the name indicates, what is the meaning of user-defined functions? User-defined functions means what is the user required. So here we have the two examples: addition of two numbers. So it's a user-defined function because I am writing my own steps for performing addition of two numbers. It can be integer addition, it can be float addition, or it can be an addition of double. So another example we can talk: search of an element. So a function is written for searching an element from the given list. So these functions are the functions which are created by the C programmer so that he or she can use it many times. It reduces the complexity of a big program and optimizes the code. Optimizes means minimizes the code. So written value, it makes a huge difference. Written something or does not written something. So simply I will tell you an example. Suppose I am the calling function. I am the master. I will take an helper. So I will assign the function. I will call him. What does he has to do? The same example, searching an element. So who am I? I am the calling function. Master will be the calling function, whereas the other person, the helper, will be the called function. So the master can call him any number of times. What he has to do always, I am calling him to do this work. So he will come, he will do the work, and he will return back the result to me. So that is the work, that is the concept of functions, master and helper. So the master can call the function any number of times. So here the concept of return, that means suppose I am being a master, if I ask the helper to perform an addition, so after he performs an addition, he can return the result to me, or he can print the result directly to the client. That means the user who is asking the work. So the called function can return any value to me. That means for calling function, master will be the calling function, helper will be the called function. Helper may return back the result to the master, or the result can be printed by the helper also. So that is the return value. Hope you have understood. So a C function may or may not return a value from the function. So he may give back or may not. I can assign the value. If he gives back to me, I will give the result. Otherwise, he will do it. If you don't have to return any value from the function, use void for the return type. If the helper does not want to return back the result to me, that function will be written as void. So example program without return value. So I am writing it as void hello because if anybody wants me to call, that means if he is the helper, called function, if somebody calls it, so he is directly writing printf hello C. He is directly writing hello C. So though it is called by any other function also, it is not returning anything. So it is an example program which is not returning anything back to the called function. So it is not returning anything to its master, right? So with return values, these are the example, two examples I have taken. Integer get, if get is a function, it is a function name, get is a function name, and the return type is integer. It is returning, what is that? 10. 10 is of type integer, so it is returning 10. The other example, float get, that means this function is of type float. So what it has to return? Float value. Right? So hope you have understood the basic things of functions. So we will move further for the other things which will help you to understand the different aspects of functions. Different aspects. So here comes the question. So with arguments, without arguments. With return values, without return values. Simply you understand here, with return value, without return value. There is a master and a helper. If the master asks the helper to do some work, the helper will do. That means the called function. Calling function. I am the calling function. Master will be the calling. Helper will be the called. Helper has to do the same work again and again. So the helper will print the result on his own, or he will return back. So there is a possibility of with return or without return. So based on that, the functions are divided. And there is another aspect. That means I am asking you to perform addition of two numbers. So I may give an input to you, or I will ask you to take the input directly. I may tell you, do the addition. That means I am not giving you any input. So the input is called with arguments. with arguments. That means I am passing the arguments. If the helper is taking the inputs on his own, so that is called without arguments. That means the calling function is not giving any input to the called function. Hope you have understood. So with that means with input, without output, without output, with input, like this, without arguments, without return value. So the function, the master directly asks the helper to do this. So he is not giving anything, he is not taking anything. So the first criteria. In second thing, function without arguments. That means the master is not going to give anything to you, but he is taking the return value. So it's the second criteria. And the third criteria, function with arguments. That means the master is going to give arguments, but the helper is not returning back any result. So it is without return value. And finally, with arguments with return value. That means it's a mutual. He will be giving the input, he will be giving back the result. So hope you have understood this. You can better understand this with an example. So we'll continue with our Turbo C++ compiler, which helps us to learn the example programs. So here I will take a new file. So where I am going to write without arguments, without return value. So hash include first criteria. stdio.h hash include conio.h void main printf hello. Print name. Please understand, it's a new thing. So it's a function call. I am calling a function. So after this, I will just write our own criteria, that is get ch. So here what I have written, this is function call, no parameters. I am not passing any parameters. So here I am writing void print name. So what is this? It is my function declaration. As it is not returning anything and it is not taking any argument, so that means this function is written as void because it is not empty data type. It is not returning anything. So it is ended with semicolon and it is written globally. The declaration is done outside the main. So this is done. So after this, hope you have remembered the basic structure. After main, we have to write user defined functions. So what is my user defined function? Void print name. It is the function definition. So here what I am going to use, printf it's C programming. So this is a function without arguments. That means I'm not passing this any arguments. It's my function call. Here I am not passing any parameters, and this is my user defined function. That means called function. This function is called by this function, but I am not giving back anything to the called function. That means this is calling function. So called function is not returning anything to the main. So this is called a function without arguments, without return value. So Alt F9, compilation, Control F9, execution. So hello, it's C programming. Two functions are executed. Main is executed as well as the user defined function is also executed. Let's see the next function, next example. Hash include stdio.h hash include conio.h. Here I am not writing the function declaration because it is not mandatory in C language. So I am skipping that. So here it is without arguments and with return value. It is not giving any input to the function call. Through function call it is not sending anything, but it is getting back the result. So this is done as integer r printf / sum so r equals to, I want r. So r is not doing any work, r is just calling the function. R is just calling the function, so it is not sending any value. So printf %d comma, I will just write down the CLR SCR because you should not get confused with the previous output. So CLR SCR. So here I am printing the output because R got the result from sum. So I just want to print the R. And get ch, main is closed with get ch, closed. This is fine, but I have to write about sum. So sum is returning the result to the main. What was the function called? R. R is of type integer. So here I have to write a function called integer with sum. Here I don't require any parameters because my calling function is not sending me any parameters. So here I am going to use two numbers because I want two numbers to perform an addition. So printf enter a comma b values. So I have to read the values, right? So scanf %d comma address of A comma address of B. So I got the two things, but I have to return it back because my master is asking. So return A plus B. So this is the work I have to do. So I will save. Hope you are all with me. You are understanding this, what I am doing. So this is the function without arguments, but with the return value. The calling function, this main is not sending any data, but it is just asking, perform the sum, get back the result. So let's see, Alt F9, Control F9. So enter A comma B values. I'm just writing the function name, sum. I want to perform sum. So 6 and 5, sorry, 5 and 7 I have given. So the result is 12 is printed onto the screen. So you just see here, I am tracing the function. So it has started from F7. So clear the screen. So what it is doing? First sum is printed. Next it is going with R. So sum is called. So see, after this the function, the execution goes to the calling function. So that means we are asking to do some work. So it just moves to the function call, to function definition of the function which is called. So it is moved from this place to this place. So it will do the work what it has to do here. So it is asking me enter the two values. So after that it is returning. So where it is going? See, it is returned to R. So it is printing R. F7 get CH. So the result of 6 plus 4 is 10. Right? Hope you have understood. We'll continue with the next two programs. So hash include stdio.h, hash include conio.h, void main. It is a function with arguments and without return value. It is sending some values to the function. So he wants to send the values a comma b and r. So I am directly giving here a is 7. We can read it also using printf and scanf, and b is 8, r. Okay. So what I am doing, I am just calling the function with parameters. What are the parameters I am passing? Parameters are nothing but the arguments. So what I have done, I am calling a function with parameters. What are the parameters? Two parameters which are of integer type. So what is the value? What is the thing it is done? Here it is not asking for anything to return. So I can return directly. So these parameters are, here I will write the function declaration so that you can better understand what is this. So as this function is not returning anything. So it is not returning anything, void sum. But what it is doing? It is doing an addition of two numbers. So did this sentence match it? The function call sum is matched with the two number of parameters which are of integer type. So I am passing two integers, and the passing parameters are called actual parameters. Whereas I am writing the function definition void sum, where I am using another parameters integer x comma integer y. These are called formal parameters. Okay, here I have my own parameters. That means here a is passed to x, b is passed to y. So here I will print my result directly. Sum, what is the sum? Percentile d. From where do I get x plus y? Because I have x equals to a, y equals to b. That means these actual parameters a and b are called actual parameters, whereas x and y are called formal parameters. A is passed into x, b is passed into y. So I am printing the result here. So it is saved as L3.c, Alt F9 for compilation, Control F9 for execution. So directly the result is 15 because I have given it as 7 and 8. Otherwise I can take out this sorry, it should be comma. I can take out this. I can write printf enter a comma b, scanf two values I have to read, percentile d and percentile d, both are integers, address of a comma address of b. So whatever the values I will pass to a and b, those two lines are passed with function call. So Alt F9, no errors, Control F9, it is asking for a and b. Now I am giving it as 3 and 9. So the result 3 plus 9 is 12. So hope you are understanding. Here it is with arguments but without written value. So we'll just move on with the last program, that is with arguments and with written value. Right? So hash include std dot hatch, hash include conio dot hatch, void main integer a comma b comma r, because I need a and b values, so I will read the values from user. Enter a comma b. Here I'll take CLR SCR because I want my screen clean and neat. Scanf percentile d comma address of a address of b. Right, here I want the result, so I am calling it as r equals to sum of a comma b. So I am asking the function, that means my helper call function, to return back the result, and I am passing the values, that is a and b, and the result whatever I get, that is printed here, that is sum is percentile d. Comma, from where do I get r? So get ch, close. So here it is asking for the return. What type of return it is asking? Integer. So my function must be integer sum, and I have two formal parameters, they are integer x and integer y. And here I can have a local variable called integer z also. So the use of z can be used to perform an operation like this, z equals to x plus y, and I can return z, because z is nothing but addition of two numbers. This is all not required. Directly you can write x plus y, you can return x plus y, but I want to explain here, so that these three steps, like these three steps, you can use any other variable here, and any operation also you can perform here. So you are returning the z value. So save L4 dot C, Alt F9 for compilation, Control F9 for execution. So two values 6 and 9. So the sum is 15. Right? So I just want to trace this program. so that you can understand. The program starts execution from main. Next, it is clearing the screen. It is asking for A and B. It is reading A and B. So see, I am giving 7 and 4. So it is asking directly, so the control of execution goes to the called function. So here it is performing x plus y. X is nothing but the A which you have passed, y is nothing but the B which you have passed, and written the Z. Z is written, so where it is written? To R. So R is printed, let's ch and close. So the result is sum. So hope you have understood the functions concept. Thank you for watching the video.